Hey, what's going on, everyone? Today I want to talk a little bit about personal conduct and explain why that's so important. As new supervisors, it's important to understand that the way you carry yourself is incredibly important. You are no longer the person, the everyday worker. You are one that everyone has looked at, and I'm going to talk about that again here in a second. And so I like to always start it off by talking about what the problem is and what I've noticed and what I've heard. One, leaders are continuously acting or continuing to act the way they did or carry themselves the way they did prior to getting this promotion or becoming a supervisor. And so they're still showing up a little bit late. They might be talking with the same crowd, meaning in the same manner. They're just carrying themselves in the same way. And so this speaks volumes now because they are the leader. You are the boss, you are the new supervisor, and everybody's looking at you in a different way. The other thing I kind of notice is when supervisors start to doubt their own abilities. And I talked about this again, in the past about the imposter syndrome, but you are starting to doubt your abilities and it becomes infectious, to be honest with you. When you can't hold yourself or when you are noticing your boss not have the answer, you start to doubt their ability and things like that. And so new supervisors obviously can be very nervous sometimes. And so they carry themselves in that way. They doubt their abilities. They question themselves, and maybe they don't. Maybe the junior folks don't know this, or the new direct reports aren't seeing it. But eventually, they start to pick up on it. And finally, they also will use this position power inappropriately. And what I mean by this is maybe they will start to say, "Well, I'm the boss now, and so I'm going to show up late, show up whenever I want to, or I'm going to leave early." Or maybe I'm going to use this autocratic approach of just do it my way because I said. This approach is very, 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 it will break down your trust in your team. And so using your position power inappropriately is a very big challenge that new supervisors have to learn. So why do you care? Why are you listening to this video? I always like to ask that question because I want you to understand that there are reasons why this is so important, why the way you carry yourself, the way your professional conduct and your personal conduct is seen by others is incredibly important. So the fact is that you are a supervisor now, and you are seen in a different light. Everybody is looking at you. I don't care what your position is. I don't care where you came from or what you're doing, what job it is. You are the boss now. You are the supervisor. And how you use that personal and position power is totally up to you. But the fact is that you are seen in a different light. And I mentioned this, I believe, a second ago. Everyone is watching you. You walk into a room. It doesn't matter if you are the ranking person or you are the boss in the biggest boss in the room or whoever it is. Everybody's watching you. You go in for a meeting. You go in for a team meeting. You go into a one-on-one counseling. It doesn't matter. All eyes are on you. Everybody is watching what you're doing. And I'm not saying that to make you nervous. I'm saying that to help you understand these tips I'm going to give you. When you do these things, when you follow these tips and these strategies that I'm going to give you here in a minute, it's going to help you recognize why that's important to do that and also to help with this all eyes on you thing, like Tupac said. The other thing is if you look lost, if you look confused, if you look like you don't have the answer, your team will notice. Your supervisors will notice. If you pause on your answers for too long, if you don't understand what's happening, or you just generally look lost. Look, everybody, you don't have the answers to everything. That's a fact. But if you say, I don't know the answer to that, let me get back to you, and then you fail to get back to them, or you don't get back to them in a reasonable amount of time, they're going to start to lose that trust. They're going to start to, that trust is going to start to break down. And so what's going to happen? Well, they're just going to go to somebody else they can trust. Be that another peer, another supervisor within the company, it doesn't matter. They're going to turn to them. And the most important thing, and I talked about this for a long, long time, is that if you can't hold yourself to a standard, if you can't hold yourself accountable, self-accountability is the most important thing in a supervisor. Your ability to look at yourself before you look at others is, again, going to set you apart from the other folks. How can you hold others accountable if you can't hold yourself to that very same standard? So what can you do about this? I'm going to give you a couple strategies that I like to use, and they worked well for me. One, you want to get clear on who you are and what you want to be known for. Get clear on who you are and what you want to be known for. And this is an internal thing. This is what you're thinking about. Okay, so who am I? What do I want everybody to say about me? Whatever it is. Be very clear on that, because how you carry yourself, your personal conduct, is going to speak to that. You have to dress the part. Maybe you were able to get away with wearing lax clothes, or you were able to not dress a certain way, or whatever. Maybe you're able to not have to wear a tie to work. Maybe your job doesn't require, whatever it is. Dress the part. Make sure that you are dressing what is appropriate, and maybe consider going up just a half a step or a full step forward above that. One of the biggest challenges I had when I was transitioning was that, understanding that, hey, one, they don't pay for your uniforms anymore. And two, you need to dress one step above what everyone else is expecting. And that's a very good thing, because then you look the part. You're dressing the part. The next step I like to offer is to believe in yourself. And remember, you got here for a reason. There is a reason why your supervisor selected you to be the next boss, the next supervisor. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter if it was tenure. It doesn't matter if you knew everything in the book. It doesn't matter if your performance was better than everyone else. You were selected for a reason. Go back to that reason. Get very clear on that and believe in yourself. Because when you believe in yourself, it's infectious. You'll see, like energy attracts like energy. Everyone else will start to feel the same way. The next thing I like to offer is to challenge yourself. If you don't challenge yourself, you'll probably just become stagnant and not be willing to push others. But you always want to challenge yourself to stretch yourself all the time. Your team will see it, and they too will challenge themselves all the time. And this can be done through setting goals, whatever it is. However you want to challenge yourself, I challenge you to challenge yourself. Most importantly, and if you're extroverted, it doesn't matter if you're extroverted or introverted, but a lot of the extroverts out there will have trouble with thinking before you speak. They'll jump right into the door and start saying whatever they want to say. That's okay in certain situations when it calls for. But if you know you're about to have something happen, or you're about to have a meeting, whatever it is, thinking before you speak will allow you to kind of slow down to get all your thoughts out. So certainly just be slow to react, slow to speak. And it's easier said than done. It is a learned and practiced behavior. Finally, I watched this movie a long time ago called Boiler Room. One of the characters in it said, act as if. And I'm not going to try to tell you to be fake or not be who you are, but you have to act as if you are in control in all situations, as if there is nothing you cannot handle. No question that cannot be answered, even if it isn't right then and there, it will be answered, and you will be the person to answer it. Act as if you are the boss. You are the supervisor. It's time that you acted that way so that you can get there. It instills confidence in yourself and in your team. So I hope you enjoyed this video. My name is Gabriel Cox, and I equip first-time supervisors with necessary leadership skills. If you're interested, I'd like to invite you to head over to my website, www.glcoxcoaching.com, and subscribe for your free offer, the ultimate guide to identifying what type of leader you are in 5 easy steps. Thank you all. I hope you have a great day.